So are you ready? Today, we are going to take a deep dive into the used car market. We're going to focus on a specific car, actually a 2008 Kia Sportage LX.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we've got this really detailed listing for it from Soaks Honda North in South Charleston.
Okay.
And there's a lot to go over, so let's just jump right into it. This one is satin silver metallic with a black interior, and it's got just under 77,000 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you picture it?
Yeah, I can. That is pretty low mileage for a car that's that old.
That's what I was thinking. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So the listing, it highlights a few key features. It has a split folding rear seat, which is, always practical.
Oh, for sure.
A rear window wiper,
Uh-huh.
for those unexpected downpours.
Yeah, definitely.
And alloy wheels. Now, I'll admit, I'm not always up on all the technical car stuff.
Yeah.
What's the big deal about alloy wheels?
Well, they're not just about looking cool. Alloy wheels are actually lighter and stronger than standard steel wheels.
Oh.
So they can actually improve the Sportage's handling and even give you a little boost in fuel efficiency.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's worth considering, especially if you're, like me and watching your wallet at the pump.
Yeah, definitely. See, this is why I love having you on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at some of these detailed specs here. Looks like it's got all the basics, power windows, speed control, your everyday comforts, but nothing too fancy.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, for a used car, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Fewer bells and whistles to break down.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Sometimes simpler is better, especially when you're talking about reliability.
For sure. Okay, now this is what caught my eye. The suspension and handling. Four-wheel independent suspension and anti-roll bars. I mean, it sounds impressive, but I need a translation. What do those features actually do for you when you're driving?
Okay, so imagine you're driving down the road and you hit a bump.
Yeah.
With independent suspension, each wheel kind of reacts to that bump on its own.
Okay.
Instead of the whole car jostling around.
Yeah.
It just makes for a much smoother ride, and you have better control of the car.
Okay, that makes sense.
And those anti-roll bars, you can kind of think of them like stabilizers.
Okay.
They keep the car from leaning too much when you're taking turns, which, is generally a good thing.
Right. Especially if you're taking this thing off-roading.
Yeah.
Which, hold on, the listing actually mentions off-road capability.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they even highlight the approach and departure angles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are we dealing with here? Some secret off-roader.
Well, hold on. Let's not get too excited. While those angles are decent for navigating uneven terrain, like maybe a steep driveway or a bumpy dirt road, you have to remember this Sportage is front-wheel drive.
Okay.
It's not going to be tackling any hardcore trails or anything.
Okay, so maybe no rock crawling, but it could handle a camping trip on a dirt road.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's still pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And speaking of practicality, let's talk about cargo space.
Yeah.
You've got this whole section on specs and dimensions, and there are a lot of numbers here. Anything stand out to you?
Actually, yeah, the interior cargo volume is pretty impressive for a compact SUV. You get like 24 cubic feet with the seats up.
Okay.
But if you fold them down, it expands to 67 cubic feet.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot of room for hauling gear, groceries, you name it.
Yeah.
And the towing capacity, 1,500 pounds, that's decent for its size. You could tow a small trailer, maybe a camper or a boat for those weekend adventures.
All right, now we're talking. I'm already picturing those weekend getaways. But before we get too carried away, Stokes Honda also emphasizes the clean Carfax and that low mileage again in their dealer notes.
Yeah.
They seem pretty confident that this Sportage is a good deal. What do you think?
A clean Carfax is always a good sign. It means there's no reported accidents or major issues.
Right.
And combined with that low mileage, it definitely makes this Sportage worth considering.
So we have covered financing, insurance, warranties, all those essential details that, let's face it, can be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, it is a lot to take in, but being informed and prepared can save you a lot of headaches and potentially a lot of money down the road.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of used cars, what is the most important piece of advice that you can give our listeners before they embark on their own car buying journey?
Don't rush the process.
Okay.
Take your time. Do your research and ask a lot of questions. Remember, you are in control. Don't be afraid to walk away from a deal if it doesn't feel right.
Right.
The right used car is out there waiting for you. And with a little patience and preparation, you will find it.
Words of wisdom. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. We have covered a lot of ground, from decoding car specs to navigating the sometimes a bit scary financial maze of buying a used car. Hopefully, our listeners feel empowered and ready to tackle the used car market with confidence. Until next time, happy car hunting.
Drive till my heart stops